we're just going to get right into the things that we were talking about in the last video and start cutting the front end off of this little beach cart to eliminate some drag and resistance through the sand. If you didn't catch the last video, I set off to build a little beach cart using an old Power Wheels children's toy as a foundation. I've wanted to build something for a while that could help me carry my beach and camping equipment when we go on our annual beach camping trip. Consider hitting that like and subscribe button for me. It really does a lot to help the channel, and it'll be a great way for you to get some new ideas and learn some different ways to do things. You could also win some pretty cool stuff. Alright, let's get into it, because this is the final piece holding this front end together. Oh yeah. Alright, well, now we have this tub here. Here's my idea with this. I'm just going to attach some wood to here for now with some screws. I'm going to drill some pilot holes through the 2x3s that I'm attaching it to, and just attach it with screws right now, see how it feels. And if it works, I'll drill through both of them and put a nice bolt on here, and then a strap around the top, anchor them together. That should be plenty strong to pull a cooler and some firewood on separate trips, along with that camping box. I'll probably also do something to like cover these motors and all these open areas, seal all this up. If you saw the last video, it's just tied into the front piece of plastic here and the back, so it should be plenty strong to pull that cooler full of all of our delicious food. So first, I'm going to take this twisted up 2x here and just kind of place it right along here. I'm gonna actually mark this, put a little notch in it to allow this to sit a little bit more flush against this other 2x. But I don't want to take too much off because I want this board to be solid. Let's whip out that circular saw. Now I wouldn't have to do this step if I would have mounted those other pieces of wood a little lower. My bad. Alright. Didn't know what I was doing with it yet. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. These boards fit together nice and flush. Let me see if I can prop this thing up a little. Look at that. Look at that. You see how close they are? How they fit together nice and flush? That's what we want. I think I did take too much off. Well, anyway, let's refer to our handy little bucket here. Everybody needs a handy little bucket. Got some drill bits, some more tools. Let's do some things here. We're gonna drill a hole straight through. Alright, I got some 4-inch exterior screws. Don't play around here. These are pretty long. These might be a little challenging to get in. You know, I kind of want to be on an angle like this. Cutting it really close. You know what? Yeah. I might end up moving that more toward like the outside. I can just anchor it through the plastic tub into the wood. I want to make it wide enough for me to stand in between both of the handles so that I can, you know, take a light jog or move with it, you know, nice and easy. Cool, now let's do the bottom. Alright, we just took off the front. We have our handles here. Nice even distance. And this is nice. I mean, it's like a little chariot. Come on, look at that. Look at that. We can pull it, use it like a wheelbarrow. We can push it. Spin around. Oh, with a little bit of power to help. Come on. This is gonna be awesome. Yeah, it's definitely gonna work. I'll move the triggers. Let's do a little spin. I'll move the triggers. Bang, 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 bang. Something like that. This is awesome. These are kind of adjustable right now. But like I said, I might just go with a screw straight down through the top, put a bolt in the back, although 4-inch screws might even be enough. All the weight is going to be all the way at the back, so yeah, this is going to be awesome. Just got to move the controls up here and we have ourselves a win. But we might have to take this into the basement. I don't want to make too much noise out here. It's getting a little late. Just gotta cut some wires and extend them. Alright, it's a new day because your boy has to sleep at least once a month. Alright, the handles are mounted. Check it out. You can just peek in there. I just got a screw in the front just for now, just to hold them in place. But what I want to focus on is getting all of this rewired. Or not even necessarily rewired, but just the controls moved forward, because honestly I was gonna do this thing up and make it really nice, but like it kind of works as is, and like I said, I don't want to waste a lot of time with this, so yeah, I'm probably gonna leave it pretty close to what it is. I got one of my tenants here. He just bought a little XR 150. Pretty cool little bike. I'm out here, so you might see him in the background. If he needs me, I'll probably give him a hand. Got all my tools and stuff. It's his first bike, and you know how I love bikes, so I'm always willing to lend a helping hand. So without further ado, let's grab some tools from our handy little bucket here. Every man needs a handy little bucket. I love this bucket. Love that bucket with all my heart. Just gonna chop these. There's no power. Come on. Don't be so gullible. What he's having fun. That's a Mustang. I know what they sound like. It looks like there's no such thing as spring anymore. We just go right from winter to summer here in PA. It's crazy. It was freezing the other day, warm out at night, and now it's hot. Yeah? Just to give you guys a little test here, how solid this thing is. Your boy don't play, alright? It's gonna hold a cooler. Where do I want this thing? Should I make a little control panel here maybe? Let me see. I gotta test this out. I I could just put everything on one side here. I was thinking of putting like the shifter on one side and the you know, putting the pedal on one side and the shifter on the other side. They're connected. But like, you know, I'm thinking the pedal will go like right under here somewhere, so I can just, you know, press it in with my hand. So that'll be like up toward the front of the handle. I'll probably round these off a little bit too, you know, make them a little more comfy, even though the 2x3, like, it's already a good handle. That sounds nice. All right, I'm kind of thinking the control panel is going to be, still got to keep it light, so I'm going to see if I have any 1-bys laying around. Let's do it. All right, I couldn't find a 1-by, but I had a piece of plywood laying around down there.
Smaller ones. Can't make it up, bro, when you're doing a project.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Put your helmet on. Couple screws here. This will definitely do the trick. Hold the board straight.
Idea, bro.
Huh?
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, boy. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is cut a little hole in this thing so I can mount the trying to make a video here and just got people starting motorcycles. Anyway, I'm going to cut a hole here the same size as this so I can reuse these little tabs. Mount this right here. Then I could honestly use the rest of this control panel for, I don't know, maybe some USB plugs, something along those lines. I might do that all in here in that little front hub. We'll see. But for now, let me go grab that jigsaw, little jig. Still recording? Yeah, you're still. Okie dokie. We got the jig. Next thing we need is a little tape measure. Let's see what we got. I got 3 1/4. Nice 3 1/4 by 2 7/8. Nope. 3. Every bit of 3. 3 1/4 by 3. Beautiful. Start out with a hole. I think this is reverse. Just based on the way that the wires are like falling here. But wasn't I in reverse? Whatever. Let's cut our hole. A little bigger. That way it fits in there nice and easily. Not my straightest of cuts. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Now we're gonna pull this pedal off. I don't know, maybe we'll keep the pedal on, but underneath there, we have just a button. Ah, you know what? The pedal feels better. Let me actually show you guys. See? We have just a button here. But this pedal feels a lot better on the fingers. This is actually kind of hard to push in, and yeah, holding that down while walking up the beach. I guess we're keeping this little pedal here. All right, well, now we can make a couple cuts on this thing. Get rid of this. And these tabs. Yeah, I'm gonna cut these off. And then maybe use a piece of strap iron to go right against there like that.
Now, even though I'm confident, I don't know if you can notice the hesitation. I'm really thinking about it because the truth is, I don't like it. So I've come up with a different plan.
Yeah. This is gonna be cool. What I'm gonna do now is make a little notch right here. I'm gonna keep it in front of where I'm actually gonna hold the handle here. That way all of the force stays beyond where any cuts are. And then I should be able to just operate this with my thumb. Beautiful. We'll set this into the board a little bit though. Make it nice. Little chisel action here. Alright, maybe not. I know just the tool for this. Boom, zero clearance saw. I think nowadays they call them multi-tools, but back in my day, you know, I've been around long enough to see the evolution of all these battery powered tools. I remember when drills were still on a cord, impact guns were not a thing. When impact guns first came out, the cordless ones, I wasn't even really that fond of them. I was just so used to using the old school drill, but man, have they come a long way. And this thing's great. It really just allows me to plunge cut straight in to the board. Come here, let's check this out up close. Now I get the little chisel in here, some chisel action. I'll just pop that right out. Look at that. Oh. Now we can get back in here and clean it up a little. Look at that. Wow, look at that. This should slide right in like so. Look at that. Beautiful. Let me get you in on the side here. Show you what we're working with. It's nice. I'll tuck these wires to the side. Alright, see that here? I added a little piece of plywood. And then we're going to go through with a pilot hole just so that the wood doesn't split because we're not working with a lot. We're working close to the edge. That's the point of the pilot hole. It'll keep the wood from splitting. And this piece of plywood here also works as a little bushing, spaces it out, but it will also keep the switch locked into place. And then I can put another screw right through here, and yeah, you just use your thumb. Oh, I should press down because I gotta drill a hole for this foot pedal. Did it leave a mark? It did. Let me drill a hole there. You know what? I'm just gonna remove. Now the pedal should depress. Let's see. Look at that. Yeah, you can just hold it and use it with your thumb here. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, this is gonna be great. Grab a little screwy dooey. That's gonna hold the pedal in place probably by itself. Oh yeah. Bingo. That's secure. And now check it out. Look at how easy. You got a nice grip here. Hand goes underneath. Nice strong grip. Just press it with your thumb. Easy. Now we just got to do something with all these wires. We'll hide them, tuck them away. Might build a little box for the shifter here underneath to protect the wires and the connections. Little plastic box. Seal it up. Well, let's run some wires and give this thing its true test. Let's flip it because that'll be easier to see everything we're working with now. First, we're going to strip back some of these wires. I'm going to work on getting this thing wired up. I got some leftover 14-2 solid wire here. Nothing special, just leftovers. Looks like I might get rained out. Ah, come on. Red and black went together, and orange and blue. So we're just gonna start with the red and black. I guess since we have a black, we'll go black to black. Alright, I got rained out, but that's not gonna stop me, obviously. Cheap Chinese soldering iron here. Cheap, like a little bird. Alright, I got all these wires stripped, and we have a nice little hole right here that we can go into that will lead right to the center console. Oh, look at that, came back out. A little piece of heat shrink here. Let's flip it over and see how far that wire gets. We got everything wired together with these orange wire nuts. And obviously now we're going to take a little bit of this electrical tape for extra safety measure. Now that this side is all wired up, we're just going to do the same thing to the other and work backwards the opposite way and then connect over there. I'm going to feed this around this side. Now I got some cup holders and stuff in the middle. little panel there, maybe power outlets, something like that. We'll see. USB chargers, you know, like we have options here. You can turn this thing into a sweet little power station. Everything's wired up. I covered it with some electrical tape just to clean it up a bit. I guess it's now ready for its first real test here. Run these wires here, this along the side, and I'm gonna cover up these wires here, maybe make a little box around it just to protect out all the connections from sand and seawater and sea mist. But it looks like it stopped raining, so it's gonna be one of those days on and off. Let's take this thing back outside and see how it works for real now. Here it is. Now I can trim these wires real quick. Look at that. We put little hooks on those wires there. This is going to be so simple, so easy. So pop that battery right in there. Give ourselves a little space here. Loosen that up. We're just gonna pop that, give it a little snuggy snug. Look at that. Oh boy. Whoa. Okay. I need to turn the shifter around. Well, here we go. Here's the moment of truth. It's got a big okay, easy to reach the shifter here. Easy. Oh yeah. This is gonna work. Before I get too crazy now. Yeah. This is gonna work. Hi, Pumpkin. Hi. What's my girl? Down. My favorite thing. Wherever. Where you go? Where you go? I love that pup. She comes with us to the beach. Maybe I'll be ushering her around in this little thing. Who knows? It'll be pretty fun. Right, baby girl? Right? What's that? What's that? Huh? What is it? Come here, you little pumpkin. You little pumpkin. You little pumpkin. So yeah, this thing's pretty legit. You can just kind of with your thumb here. Oh, I'm in reverse, but that's also easy to reach. Got my other hand on the camera here. Oh, little burnout. Easy, really easy. And high gear is like just enough to give you some speed, keep it from getting torn up by the mosquitoes. I might add the front end right back up there, and that might be where I put a little power station right in that little front bucket. I'll reattach it to the 2x here, and yeah, maybe I'll put some USB chargers, a 120 AC outlet, a little power inverter, who knows. We can get as creative as we want, but I'm confident that this is going to work even in the sand. If I have to put little paddles on the tires, I'll do that. It'll work, but this thing is going to be awesome. And in high gear, it's just enough for a brisk jog, which will usually be just enough to keep the mosquitoes off of you. So yeah, check that out. Pretty awesome. I'm gonna reinforce a couple things here. Probably reinforce the attachment points of the handles, and this thing will be super solid. It'll definitely help us get the cooler, the tent, some equipment. We can load all of this up. Little areas in here. I was thinking about making some bags here, but I've spent enough time on this. It works. Like I said, I'm confident it'll work on the beach. I'm sure I could find a way to attach it to the back of my truck with my motorcycle. A little bit of black paint, a cover for these motors, and any of the gaps in the plastic. And that's really it. Turned out awesome. I'm excited. This battery is not heavy at all. When you have the leverage of both of those handles, it lifts right up. So even though this might be another 15, maybe 20 pounds, really don't feel it. And yeah, you just pop that in when you get to the beach, couple turns, you're good. This is awesome. Who's mine? Who's mine? You just wanna play with Papas. You want butt scratches? She loves those butt scratches. You like those butt scratches? You like those butt scratches? Yeah. Yeah. You like bucket. There's the belly. I got the belly. Put your truck into the, oh my gosh, man. You okay? Is it you? You alright? Little shit. What a spot to get hit. Of all places.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah, it's done. Oh, it's moving.
Working overtime. That's the slow speed. Let's step it up a little. Oh yeah. Oh, this thing is beast. Crazy. Seeing this?
If you'd like to see the final, finished product, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button for me, and check out some of the other videos on the channel. We'll have some more great giveaways, and plenty of awesome ideas and fun adventures to look forward to. Thanks for watching.